enjoy the show, play on my channel.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's been quite a roller coaster of a week for me.
Yeah.
We have some pretty exciting sponsors that we're getting.
Yeah.
And guests. We are on our third episode of Sex Ed and Everything in Between, and we have managed to score some pretty impressive names.
Yeah.
So let's keep it going before we even start. Like, follow, share, Sex Ed and Everything in Between, and Pj&wh and wall hangers.
If you're on YouTube, hit that notification bell.
Yes, please. We release the same time every week before 5 o'clock on Monday, and we're always here for your questions. So, how was your week?
Oh, it was certainly something.
You too?
Yeah. It was pretty chill for most of it. I got my sister to watch Lord of the Rings for the first time.
Yes, that is always a good time. Do you guys like Harry Potter?
Oh, I'm an avid Harry Potter fan.
Then we are going to have to take Sex Ed and Everything in Between down to Disney World.
Absolutely.
And do Diagon's Alley.
I'm gonna have to go to Universal again.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, that's a shame.
Oh no, I have to ride the Hogwarts Express again.
And again, I heard they don't have very long wait times for those.
So when we went, it was December. And, it's Florida, so it was like 80 something degrees.
Right.
And it was still pretty packed. But we did, in their defense, we went around Christmas time.
Well, yeah,
they do like
thing.
Parades and stuff around then. So,
Exactly.
it was pretty packed when we were there.
That's good. It means that there's people and,
right,
you're not there by yourself.
Oh, my
It's
God.
not lonely.
I bought a wand when we
Oh my
went.
God,
Because
did
they
you?
because they have like the
Yeah.
interactive ones that you
Yes.
can like go to the different storefronts and like do little motions and it'll do like a spell in the window.
Well, I'm excited for
Yeah.
this. So we definitely will have to make plans eventually. Just, whatever. So I came up with a whole slew of questions for you and things that I'm kind of curious about because you had mentioned how you and Tom met.
Right.
There was a third party involved in that. Were you guys like, and you might have already answered this, and if you did, I apologize. But 2 weeks ago, I don't have that kind of mindset, like where I remember stuff. Were you guys friends first?
Yeah, we were. We were friends for a little bit. It really was not a long friendship. But we did. We hung out a couple times before we started dating.
Was there any scariness about if it didn't work out, you guys will lose your friendship altogether?
Not so much because we didn't have a long friendship to begin with. Like it was pretty clear when we met each other that we were both kind of interested.
Okay.
So, we just kind of took it from there.
Okay. Now, I do have a semi-crazy out of left field question for you, too. Have you, in the time that you've been with Tom, ever been, because of your past, been fearful of cheating?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not so much his fault. That's a behavior that I had from previous relationships where, I have been cheated on before.
Right.
My first boyfriend cheated on me multiple times with friends that I had. And
Okay.
not really friends anymore for obvious reasons, but
I sure hope not.
yeah, and it was kind of petty because we were in 8th grade. So it wasn't a serious relationship. But it was my first experience in an actual relationship, and we were on and off for 8 months.
Right.
So that's a pretty decent amount of time. It feels way longer when you're 13.
Yeah.
But I was really interested in him, and he was really interested in me. But he was also the way that he was. So.
Right. Now, I do have to ask you a question because I do know that with everything going on with people, I know a lot of people who are going through breakups, who are going through heartache, stuff like that. And some people who are in the position where they are the ones causing the heartbreak and the stress and all that stuff. I guess what I want to know is, have you ever put the blame for how you're feeling when it comes to is he going to cheat or anything like that? Did you ever put that blame on Tom, or did you take that?
I think that at that point, I had moments where I would go and he would go to work and I would get really stressed out for no reason. It was just a fear that I had that I'm not good enough. So why would he believe that? He's eventually just going to find somebody better and leave me.
I get it.
That turned into paranoia to the point where I was I would go through his computer and stuff just to like, and I would find nothing. I wouldn't find anything, but like it was just like this like need to know.
Right.
And like a lot of the times like you think you want to know and then you do find something and you wish you hadn't looked in the first place.
Exactly. So sometimes it's just better left
Right.
unearthed.
But I mean, that was something that we worked through together because he knew that I had like abandonment issues and like trust issues and stuff like that from previous relationships. So like it was something he was super patient with me about.
Right.
And like it was something that like I corrected my own behavior over time because I felt secure enough in my relationship to where I really just I trust him. And I know a lot of people will say, well, I trust my man, but I don't trust other women. The thing about that is that there's two parties involved. So
Exactly.
you may trust your man all you want, and at the end of the day, if he's a cheater, he's going to cheat.
So I know you said you're not really a TikTok person,
Yeah.
but there is a TikTok trend going around where women will say, pretend I'm another girl, and they'll go.
I've seen a couple of those.
So I love that trend.
Yeah.
And the reason I love that trend is because these men have no idea what these women are doing, and they're hearing, I'm another woman, and you lunge. No. No, what are you going to do? Say, you're my wife or girlfriend, and I'm just going to stand here? No. We've put you in the position now where we are going to tell you, you are with another woman. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And I have seen some men be really confused over what to do next, which is a huge red flag.
Right.
And I have seen other men bolt, not knowing the camera's there, and they run. They're like,
Not today.
Yeah, no, my wife, girlfriend will kill me.
Only thing I've seen TikTok trend-wise lately is the fucking chicken jockey from the Minecraft movie.
Oh, I've never
Oh
seen
my
that.
God.
Now, speaking of chickens, I do have to say, I want chickens so bad.
Someday. I'm on that Panda Express train, so I would like that kind of chicken.
Oh, orange chicken?
Yes.
Sweet and sour chicken?
Orange chicken.
Orange chicken?
Yeah.
I've never had it.
No, actually, so if you're saying you want pet chickens,
Yeah.
right? So we had 2 pet chickens when I was younger. We lived in
God.
we lived in Ridley, and
That's the only place in Delco I think that allows them.
really,
Yeah.
We ended up having to get rid of them after a while
Okay.
because they were waking up our neighbors really really early in the morning, and we got complaints.
Did you have roosters and not
We
just chickens?
had I think we had 2 roosters and a chicken.
And you never know what you're going to get when you get them from the store.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they could
so
grow
our
up-
neighbor
Uh-huh.
owned a convenience store, and they kept chickens for like fresh eggs and stuff because they would they would make meals and stuff. And he was right next door, so he was the one that gave us the chickens. He was like, "Oh, I have a couple extra."
Was he the one complaining too?
No,
Okay.
no, because he had his own chickens, so his chickens were waking people up too. I mean,
Oh my God! There's plenty of other things in Ridley Park that will wake you up. Why care about the
yeah,
chickens?
why? It's because it was it was
Ambulance.
Crumlin, so
Oh, that's
everybody's
different.
just annoyed about everything in Crumlin.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. But and I'm sorry for those who are, but chickens bring happiness,
I love me a little chicken.
right? Especially when eggs are $4.49.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They used to be like $2.
Yeah, I went to Aldi recently, and like that's like I think it was like $4.50 for 12.
We've definitely diverted away from what
Oh,
we're
yeah.
talking about. So back to cheating.
Yeah.
I was cheated on plenty of times, and it's so funny because I was in fight or flight until I left my last relationship, and the one thing I was told was, I'm not like other guys, like I'm not like that. I'm not going to hurt you. Like everybody who knew me
Right.
wanted to make sure that I knew that nobody was going to hurt me. Cheating is the worst kind of hurt you can get. And you don't know if somebody down the line, you always think, is that person going to do this to me? Or am I going to be stuck in that situation?
And that's where the abandonment issues come from as
Yep.
well. Like,
and the heart
'cause-
parting.
Right. And like the paranoia and the feeling that you need to look through his stuff because you say you trust him, but do you really?
The worst thing you can do is search your significant other's stuff. So my last relationship, he would tell me all the time, I want to see your phone at 7 o'clock every night.
That's so toxic.
Right? So you know what I did one time? It was so funny because I never showed it to him. And he grabbed me by like the shoulder. And it was like a tough grab.
Ugh.
It was like a scary grab. So
Yeah.
I ran out the house and he cornered me in the driveway. I couldn't move. I couldn't go anywhere. He was 6'2". I couldn't do it. I eventually took my phone and chucked it somewhere. I couldn't find it. I was looking through it, but I didn't want him to find it. He had 2 bad hips. He wasn't going to go running to look for it. And I was like, the only thing. But I didn't hide it because there was something in there that I was scared to show him. I did it for my own independence. You don't have to.
There's no reason for you to need that kind of access to your partner's private life.
Now, he asked for that, but one night I woke up and we lived in a 3-floor house. We had the 2nd floor. We had a neighbor at the bottom floor and a town whore on the 3rd floor.
Right.
And I say town whore because we lived in a very small town. We lived in Chester County. And she and him, I woke up one night to him up there having sex with her.
I think the fuck not, you trick ass bitch.
Right?
What?
So I thought I could save this marriage.
Oof.
And I had it in my head because I was so brainwashed that he was the only one who would ever love me. So I had to stay.
Yeah, well, because that's how they get you. They manipulate you into thinking that, like, nobody else will ever love you. Right. It'll only ever be me. You're stuck with me.
Right. And the other thing, too, is what about the kids? Well, you should have thought about that. Now, I didn't have kids with him. I had my own kids. He was absolutely obsessed with my own kids these are my kids now, too. Well, they have a dad. So, I mean, like, you can be stepdad.
And that's great. Like, if you know, you're a man and you feel like you need to take that kind of charge and you want that in your life, that's great. But, like, there comes a point where it's a little weird, right?
Yes. Yes. So that's definitely, I was very protective over both my kids. Yeah. I still had to work, but I was very protective. But on the other hand, I had to hear this at 3 o'clock in the morning, and he did it again when me and my daughter went to Florida. But he would tell me no. She would tell me he did it. And I was like, okay, if the town whore is going to tell me that, it's happening.
Right, like, at least she's letting you know, man.
Right?
Like,
she's like, you really need to leave him. He's been screwing me for months.
We don't love a home wrecker, but a home wrecker that, you know, can take accountability and say, hey, girl, this is what your man is up to. Like,
yeah. So, now the other thing, too, is I do believe in saving the kids from the trauma of cheating. Well, and this is my favorite thing to tell anybody. The problem started way before there was infidelity. The kids have noticed things way before then. And if you're going to do that, you really do need to keep your kids in mind before you are sitting there fighting for them.
Yeah.
So whether it's stepkids, kids, whatever it is, and whether it's man or woman, I don't discriminate.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you do it, you got to pay the price for it. Like,
because women can be just as bad with cheating as men, sometimes worse, I've noticed. Yeah. And then you'll have women who will get angry at another woman who was told by, you know, your man that he is single.
Exactly.
And she's under the impression that you're not in the picture.
You know what's worse?
Then you get mad at her for that. What is that? Why?
Exactly.
It's not her fault. And she's got the good grace to come and tell you that as soon as she finds out, like, oh, this is what's going on.
Exactly.
And at that point, I think you should just be grateful to her because, like, yeah, she was involved in it, but you never know if she actually knew what she was involved in or not.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's a touchy subject. It's kind of a little, kind of rocks your world a little bit.
Yeah.
And you got to learn to recover. And you know what? Whether you are the aggressor or the one who's being cheated on, you both have to heal.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing, and I learned it this week because I did it when I first got here, is you don't have to be around people 24/7. I did not heal until I was here. It's so funny because everybody else was at work and I was here alone. It was right before Thanksgiving. I sat down on the floor and Link came up to me knowing something was wrong because he does not like when people are upset. And I let it all out. I screamed, I cried, I cursed, I made a fool of myself, but I was the only one here. And let me tell you something. I was told that I wasn't expected to heal as fast as I did, but I give credit to that meltdown I had. That breakdown healed
Sometimes you just need a release. Like, as somebody who has depression, and, you know, I take medication for it, but, like, it's not always 100% effective. I still have moments where, like, I will go months being perfectly fine. And then one day, it is just the worst day I've ever had.
I want to tell you something, and I don't want to bring down your depression, like make it seem like it's not important to everybody. But that is emotion.
Yeah.
You are feeling an emotion, and you're allowed.
Yes.
So I want everybody to know, all of our listeners, all the people who tune in, you're allowed to feel emotion. You're allowed to be upset. You have to be in a safe place with the people. And I'm sure Tom is definitely your safe place. I have seen the two of them together, and they're adorable. It's not age. It's not because you're in your 20s. And it's a connection. You guys just give a connection. And if anybody doesn't know Tom is an amazing guitarist. I will be working with Tom on certain projects and certain things with music. And honestly, I don't really let people into my circle that I don't think deserve to be there.
Yeah.
So between you and Tom and everybody else, it's just a great environment to be in. But I want you to understand that depression or not, you might call it depression. You might be on medication for it. And I'm glad you are. But I want you to understand that sometimes what you might mistake as depression, I'm sure any doctor, I'm not a doctor, so any doctor, therapist can agree with me on this one. If you don't, please put in the comments. Let me know if I'm wrong, and I'd love to take criticism, especially constructive criticism. But I think that what you might sometimes describe as depression to people is just an emotion that you are feeling you got to kind of work through.
Yeah.
I totally believe that depression is honest to God, real. You know, some people believe it's real, some people don't.
Yeah, well, so I grew up, with my dad not believing in depression. Like, I've had depression since I was 14. And what it is, for those of you who don't know, who aren't learned in this topic, it is a literal chemical imbalance in your brain. So your brain does not produce serotonin and dopamine the way that it's supposed to. It produces like that particular, the happy drug, the happy chemical that your brain produces is significantly lessened, leading to these, instances of like depressive episodes and stuff like that. And like, there's a really clear difference for me between I'm upset about something and I am depressed. Because when I'm depressed, it becomes like such a mountain. Like, everything in my life goes from being something that, like, oh, that's a small thing, I'll deal with it in a little bit, to being bigger than I ever could be. Like, I feel beaten down, and there's nothing that I can do about it, And I think that those moments when I have these episodes and I'm finally able to cry, it helps so much. It is such a cathartic release because, like, you're taking all of these, like, heavy, strong emotions and you're letting it all out. You are just, and it feels so refreshing when you're done. When everything's, quieted down and you're sitting there and you got your puffy eyes, whatever. It just feels like a weight has been lifted off of you.
I love a good cry. I love a good cry. I don't care if I make anybody uncomfortable with crying. I don't care where I am. I've cried in a car. I've cried on the couch. I've cried in my room. I've cried in the shower. I've cried everywhere. I have not cried in a long time. And a long time to me is about a month and a half, 2 months.
Right, yeah.
Because I'm finally happy.
Yes.
And it's so weird because when I was in that abusive relationship, I would not leave my room, or I would go take a drive, or I would go. So I became really athletic towards the end, and I would run 6 miles to somewhere and run 6 miles home. Now, I wouldn't do that now.
Yeah.
Sounds
like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. I mean, first you have to find the perfect sneaker. Then you have to look really cute because it's like,
oh yeah, because you're out in public.
Yes.
So like, of course you want to have like, the cute leggings or whatever on. Like,
I had
bust out that Halara.
Right now, I will tell you about my Halara story because I had 65 pairs of Halara leggings.
Oh my God.
I left. I didn't take them with me.
That's such a money sink, though. My God.
I took a major hit for that. But I'm like, you know what? Would I have been a different person if I brought my leggings with me? Plus, I've lost.
Maybe I would have run more if I had my special leggings.
If I had my leggings and I had Hokas too, and that's what I would run in. I left them too.
Oh my god.
I know.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's-
Those leggings are like what, $30 a pop?
45.
Oh my god, worse than I thought.
Hurt. It hurt. It definitely hurt. But I was like, I gotta run. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
I did not want to take them. Actually, it was so funny because I saw him in court and our
Mm-hmm.
PFA got squashed because I dropped it.
Okay.
But he said to the judge, "Oh my god, I have all her stuff. I washed it all in bleach. Does she want it?" The
In bleach?
The judge looks at me and goes,
Do you want
Do
it?
you, she didn't even have to finish the whole sentence. And I was like,
No.
I can buy my own clothes. Now,
Yeah.
I might not be able to, as of now, be able to, like, replenish everything I lost. But
Yeah, but it's
in
still like
time-
over time you'll get back to where you were.
exactly.
And
And that's part of
Your
what,
mental health is better for it in the end, so
and that's the other thing. So when I was running, it was kind of like I was doing something good for myself. I was doing something good for my body, but I was running away from something.
yeah.
Now, I lost more weight by eating healthier, eating smaller portions, and not doing anything extra except walk everywhere.
Yeah.
Or walk around the house. And I lost more weight and got happier that way.
Changing your diet can really make a difference in both your mood
Yeah.
and, you know, your physical well-being.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you go clothes shopping and hate to do it and leave with nothing?
Sometimes
Yeah.
there are moments though, like, you know, if I'm going with somebody, like if me and my sister are going, or me and my cousin Kayla, like then it's like, you know, it's a day for us. Like we get little treats, you know, we get our little Starbucks or, you know,
Right.
whatever we want from the mall, and then we actually have time to, you know, look at everything, and we're not, you know, so surrounded by our dudes who are just tired of being there.
Oh, I would never, ever. Yeah, I know. I just.
And they never have good opinions on stuff. They never know how to, like,
I-
you'll say, oh, what do you think about this? Like, you'll be trying on clothes or something, and they don't know. They don't know what the fuck to say. It looks great.
Yeah. Now,
You said that about the last 7 ones. You got anything better for me? Like, is there more to it, or
Yeah,
is that
like,
it?
Let me know. Is it too short, too long? Is it like, I always want to know if I look like so I have body dysmorphia.
So do I.
I look at a picture of myself, I look huge. I'm not.
I'm the opposite. I do not, like, I feel like a stick bug sometimes.
It's so weird how the two can be the same thing, but
Mm-hmm.
completely different. Now, this brings me up to our guest we're going to have next week. Her name
Yeah.
is Nina. I am so excited to have her on. She is, in my opinion, a health guru. She is
Yeah.
at the gym every day, but she doesn't go to the gym to lose weight. She goes and she lifts and she power lifts. And
I've been lifting.
Yeah, so I power lifted for 10 years.
I
it
I
was-
haven't done that far, but I
Yeah,
have been
you'll
lifting.
get there. If you do more, you'll get to the powerlifting part.
Mhm.
And let me tell you something. When you drop that barbell, it makes you feel like a
And
bad
on top
bitch.
of the world.
Right. So I would love to get back in. And Nina is actually going to help me get back into that kind of how I want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to lose. I think, now here's the other thing. Going back to the clothes thing. I always feel like I have to buy my clothes on Amazon. Now, I'll tell you why. Because in my head, back to the body dysmorphia,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still an extra large in my head.
Right.
I have bought clothes that I literally cannot wear because they fall off. And
Because
I'm
they're
like,
way too big.
yeah. And I'm like, how am I seeing, like, our last podcast, I looked at myself and I was like, why do I feel like I look so unhealthy?
Oh, that's okay. I looked at myself in our last podcast and I didn't love it either. So
So as all the women listening to us, you know, we got to learn to embrace our bodies and our, I hate to sound cheesy, but our inner goddess. And we have
Absolutely.
to be proud of ourselves. Now, I've had kids, so I got the hips, but I have to be proud of those hips. I have to be proud of who I am and how I look. So my ex relationship last time, you know, his biggest turn on for me, me?
Was it your weight?
No. It was the fact that he only had sex with skinny women. So now he gets to have sex with a full figure, bigger woman. And I was like, wow.
Okay, dude.
Wow. Okay. And he told me that. And then 2 weeks later, asked me to marry him.
Oh my God.
My fault.
Yeah,
my
because
fault.
it's always your fault, right?
My fault. Because here's the thing. To hear that, you know, he had sex with, he said prettier too. That was the one that I
yeah,
should have
yikes.
asked. So it's prettier and skinnier, but I was more average, homely, and bigger.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
Right?
Backhanded compliments
So-
you're giving me.
When I went on America's Got Talent for one of the episodes that never got aired, I never was on television, but because COVID hit. But
Yeah.
they did me up and everything. I sent a selfie to him, and he goes, "Oh, look, the wonders of makeup."
Wow.
So,
Watch how fast I would have smacked that man up.
well, I did better because when I left, I took his Phillies jersey, his Eagles jersey. So if he's listening to this, I don't have them anymore. But
I hope you burned them.
I did not burn them, but I threw them out when I got
Well.
here. Like they were in my car.
I
So
feel like it maybe would have been more fun if we had like a girl.
that needs to go.
I have a pretty bad Delco accent, I've noticed.
Well, I like yours better because I can tell yours because it's just Delco. But
Yeah,
like,
I say my O's weird.
really, because water.
Yeah.
That's me. I say water, and
It
I can't
depends.
break
It depends. Sometimes I say water. Sometimes I'll say water.
Well, it's
It really depends on how lazy I'm feeling.
So back to, I think we touched enough on the cheating thing. That's
Yeah.
something I wanted to bring up because it felt important to me. Now, I will tell you, I had a really bad bout with diet pills when I left my
Okay.
ex.
Oh my god, I'm getting flashbacks to Requiem for a Dream.
I never saw it.
You don't want to.
Okay.
So that's not fair because you do want to. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful movie. It is fantastically made. It's incredibly powerful. It made me so fucking uncomfortable though. By the end of that movie, I was so depressed. Like that is the kind of movie where it's like you got to be in a good headspace to watch that movie
So
because
I could watch
it's
it.
fucked up.
I could watch it in my current state. And
Oh
be
yeah,
perfectly
you'd be
fine.
probably
Okay.
it'd probably make you a little sad, but like overall you'd probably be all right.
You know what movie has that effect on me? There's actually two. So Full Metal Jacket.
Oh yeah.
Because my favorite, like, how do you kill off the favorite, like the favorite, and then A Clockwork Orange?
I haven't seen Clockwork Orange, but I know. So I did cyber school for a lot of high school, so don't come for me. I never read the book. I know you're supposed to, like it's
Oh,
like
it was
part of
banned in my
curriculum.
school.
Really?
Yeah, Upper Darby.
Chichester had it. I'm pretty sure Chichester had it as like a required reading.
Of course.
book.
I love that for them. But it was banned in Upper Darby School District and it was banned in Springfield School District. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's not really that bad of a book, but I can see where they would want to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely was addicted to diet pills, realized I didn't need them, and it felt amazing. So going through eating disorders, diet, I definitely always had an issue with my weight.
Yeah.
I still, like I said, I still think I'm an extra large. I hate buying clothes because in my head, I go, I don't want to buy extra
I'm
large.
like a size 3 or 4, and I'll still sometimes like go straight for like the 0 to 2 section because that's what I used to fit into.
Right.
So like my brain is still like wired to like, oh, I'm still that size.
But with age, we all tend to change body shape. It's not like it's not like a huge problem. It's just when you have body dysmorphia, you think to yourself, I'm never going to be skinny or I'm never going to look healthy.
I'm never going to, gain the weight that I want to gain or lose the weight that I want to lose.
Are you a protein chick? Do you like protein?
So I'm a chicken eater. I'll tell you that. I eat a lot of chicken.
Well, we are having chicken skewers for dinner. I'm so excited. A nice bit of protein.
Eggs and chicken generally are like my main diet.
So
but I don't like purposefully, like pack protein like that or anything.
So not saying you should, but if you, so the best way of gaining weight that you want to gain in a healthy way is protein. They make pretzels.
Oh, I know.
Packed with protein.
Speaking of pretzels, I don't know if you've had the soft pretzel from Sonic, but that shit, I had it last night. Tasted like Annie Ann's. It was a gorgeous pretzel.
So I have an idea for one of our shows. I'm thinking we do a record in the car at Sonic and then we can play it.
Oh my god, that would be sick.
We'll do a Sonic review one day.
Absolutely, I'll get some Sonic any day of the week.
Now I tell you, I haven't had Sonic in about 6 years.
I mean, that was the first time last night that we had it in a while. Like it's been because.
Did you park out?
No, so we ordered it. The closest one is in Holmes, which is like about 20 minutes away from us, and there's no other Sonic in our area. That is the only one. So like. I got a milkshake, and I was, like, worried because I was like, oh, it's going to be melted by the time it gets here because it's, like, 20 minutes away. I bet he's got other stops to make.
Right.
It was so thick that shit was barely melted.
Well, I always, if I do DoorDash with actual food, which I haven't DoorDashed actual food in so long.
I'm really bad at ordering food.
Well, I'll do it so it gets here quicker. I'll spend the extra $2.99 to make sure that I get it first because I'm selfish like that. Give me my food now.
Yeah, I've done priority before, but like usually I'm just like, yeah, it's whatever. I'll deal with it.
So
I order food way too much for this to be a problem every time.
So it's so funny too because I used to have a really good relationship with food. It's getting better. My portions have gotten a lot smaller, which I guess is good on my end. But I remember being even living with my mom. So no relationship I've ever been in have I had a healthy relationship with food. Yeah. Every relationship has equaled out to drama and trauma when it comes to it. So my mother used to tell me all the time, you look so much better when you wear makeup. Who the hell tells their kid that?
Who knows?
Who says to their kid?
See, I would sometimes have moments where like I would just feel bad about myself and feel like overdressed because like I would like come up with like a cute look and like I would do my hair and makeup and stuff and I'd be like, all right, let's go. And we're just like going to Walmart or whatever. But like then my dad would come in and be like, well, hurry up. It's not a fashion show. So then I immediately was like, okay, well, I guess, this is, I certainly was too much for Walmart, but like, who the hell cares?
Yes. Who says? Do you see what walks around in Walmart sometimes?
Oh, I know.
And look, this is not a dig. I'm not bashing anyone, but you will know darn well. I walked into a Walmart one time. The person and the Walmart will go unmentioned because I want to protect the innocent. I walked into a woman wearing her bra and underwear.
That's insane.
Yeah,
people just be doing whatever they want in Walmart.
And I was like, oh my God. And I guess I was staring because she turned around and she's like, I need to find new clothes. And I was like, okay. And
all right, girl. I wonder what happened to her. Like that really like makes me want to know how she got to that point,
I do too. I'm nosy. So it was so
am I.
It was so funny. One time I was sitting in the car with my ex-sister-in-law.
Love people watching.
I was sitting in the car with my ex-sister-in-law and I had the windows down and I had the radio on and I was pregnant with my son and we were talking, we were having full conversation. There were people in the next car fighting, not even arguing. They were screaming at each other.
Oh my
so
God.
I turned real quiet, turned the radio down and didn't respond to anything she said. And she looks at me and goes,
you listening?
Are you listening to them? And I was like,
yeah.
I said, I am. Are you? And she's like, no, I was questioning you. I wasn't giving you a statement. And I'm like,
I love listening to people argue with each other in public. It's so funny.
Because I don't do that.
Yeah, so, I'm not like that.
But back to the whole food thing. So so I'll never forget being in a relationship with somebody. And again, I will not mention names, but I wanted a milkshake. And they told me I would be better off with water.
Wow.
So it's so funny because I was here at the time and I wanted cheesesteaks because we have an amazing cheesesteak place, which eventually we'll name by name.
It's Philadelphia, so of course we do.
Exactly. So, and I don't like those trendy cheesesteak places.
Yeah, those
holes in the walls.
They're weird.
There was one in Lansdowne that closed. It was called Doc's Deli. They had the best cheesesteaks, and it was like this big, and it was like $5.
If it's not chopped steak with Cheese Whiz on it, it's not a fucking cheesesteak.
Now, see, this is where we differ. I don't like Cheese Whiz.
No? I will do American sometimes. I know a lot of people like provolone.
I like provolone. I like American. Actually, one of my favorite, and it's very much not.
No, but if you're talking Philly cheesesteaks, gotta have whiz. Like, if you're going for like an authentic Philly cheesesteak, chopped steak with whiz.
I guess yes. Now, I used to love whiz, but then I worked at a cheesesteak place, so I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
That's why. I do like pepper jack in my cheesesteak sometimes.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
But it's always cheese, mayo, ketchup, fried onion, and mushroom.
I see. I can't do onions or mushrooms.
It's not for everybody.
Or mayo, usually.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm really picky. So the only thing I'll have mayo on is, and my mom has always done this since we were little. She makes grilled cheese.
Yes, with mayo?
With mayo instead of butter.
Well, you know what? I do that too. Lately, I don't think I've made a grilled cheese in months, but last time I made one, I used butter because I had the spray butter, and I'm like, okay. That's so nice and easy.
Yeah, it's so much easier.
If you like tomatoes, try tomatoes in them.
Oh, I love tomatoes. I used to eat tomatoes like apples when I was a kid.
Yep. Tomatoes, avocado, mayo, cheese. And it's enough to like, but that's the thing. Like, I couldn't talk about food before because I wasn't allowed. My ex-mother-in-law looked at me one day and goes, "That is a lot of food on your plate. Are you sure you should be eating that?" And I was like, I threw the whole thing out right in front of her, including the plate. And I was like, I guess not. Drove my happy little self over to Wendy's, and I had a cheeseburger because I deserved it.
You're damn right you did. See, I'm kind of in a similar boat, but like on the opposite side of the spectrum. Like growing up, my relationship with food has always been poor because when I was a kid, my pop-up was always really like old school in the way that he did stuff, and it was very much like you eat what's for dinner, what we made for dinner, or you're going to bed hungry. And sometimes we would have to eat it for breakfast. Like straight up, he would save it and make us finish it in the morning.
That's like an old school way, and it's funny because that's how we kind of grew up. But we grew up in an Italian household,
and like, well, so like it got to the point where like, because also he did not know how to make steaks. Can I just say, this man would do like well done steaks, so you couldn't even chew it.
That's enough to be taken in and questioned by the police.
Yeah, I thought I didn't like steak until I got older and I had a steak that was like medium rare, and I was like, wait a minute, steak is good.
So there's a restaurant that I want you and Tom to try for like an anniversary or something, because it is not cheap, but it's called Singer's in Philadelphia, and it's got the best steak I've ever had. The best steak, the best food.
You know what? Fellini Cafe in Media
I've never been there.
So good. They have, I don't even remember what it's called, but they have this like chicken dish. And you know what? It might be called Alice Spring Chicken. And it is so good. Like, I was in heaven.
So a friend of mine had gone there for like a viewing type of like after luncheon thing, and got that. So I do know I do know the dish you're talking about. I didn't try it personally, but here's the other thing. So growing up, I might have mentioned this before. I had anorexia nervosa, and I had bulimia. Hence this.
Yeah.
But I don't ever want to go, because once you have those issues, they never really go away. You just learn to control them.
Learn better.
So when I have been told before, like, it's either, why haven't you finished all your food before? Or are you really going to eat that? You really shouldn't eat that.
Yeah.
So now it's not that I get grilled if I leave food on my plate. And sometimes I will leave portions because my stomach's like this size now.
Yeah.
So I don't have to be nervous about what I eat, what I don't eat. You know,
yeah, I got really good at like mostly chewing up food and like hiding it in my cheeks like a chipmunk, and then spitting it out in the trash. But they would check the trash too to see if we threw it out by accident.
So
or if we threw it out on purpose, rather.
Here's my thoughts on that situation. That can be just as damaging.
Yeah, I would hide it. I would like hide it under other trash so that if you would open the trash can, you couldn't see it right away. And now, as an adult, I struggle to finish my food.
Yes.
Like, because, like, I don't have to. Nobody's forcing me to.
Right.
So, like, I just won't sometimes, even if I'm not full yet. Like, I just have this impulse to, like, not finish everything. Like, I have to leave a little bit.
Yeah. So, I feel if I finish my food, I'm doing a disservice to my body. Well, I used to feel like that. But it's just learning how to relate. Food is a very difficult subject. So I know we're everything in between, which is why the food topic comes up. Because mentally, if you don't have a healthy vision of yourself, you're not going to have a healthy vision of a relationship.
Yeah.
Because are you going to believe that person if they tell you you're pretty? If they tell you eat what you want? I get told, let's go get breakfast. Yeah. I love Tom Jones, and I will tell you that I am trying so hard to get them to sponsor us because Tom Jones is a classic. We will go to Tom Jones and have their $9.99 special.
I really miss when the Blue Ribbon was like $3.
Right, and I had told him I swore that was like $5.99 the last time we were there, which
it probably was, right, and they probably hiked it up again.
But you know what? It's okay. Times are tough. Eggs are expensive, and they give you two.
That, but
maybe
also,
if I don't ask for the eggs.
Yeah. Like, how did we go from the Blue Ribbon special being $3 like 10 years ago to now it's like $20?
Right.
Like, there's no deal anymore. I'm not getting anything out of it.
Now, I will tell you my favorite breakfast food, because I cook breakfast at home more than I will go out for breakfast. And I cook dinner at home.
I love making like eggs and sausage and stuff for myself in the morning.
Annie's cinnamon rolls. are my weakness. But we get regular Pillsbury cinnamon rolls, and they're still my weakness.
Yeah. I love a good cinnamon bun. Have you
Yes.
tried have you had the Cinnabon little treat that they have at Wendy's now?
No, I didn't know they
Oh
had
my
that,
God, it's
'cause
so good.
I want Cinnabon so bad. I haven't had Cinnabon in 20 years.
It's like a monkey bread kind of situation, but
Okay.
it's like a cinnamon roll.
So it's like pieces, and they're all
yeah, well, so they give it
together.
to you. Yeah, they give it to you like in a cup, and it's got like the icing on it and stuff, and it's warm, and oh my God, it's so good.
I kind of want that just for the hell of it. But I have such a love of food that I know my healthy limits. I know what I can have, and my body tells me when it's not. Like,
Yeah.
hey, look, you don't want that. But yeah, so I mean, healthy body image goes hand in hand with feeling good about yourself. I do believe in some way it has to do with all the topics we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I do believe it has to do with a healthy relationship, a healthy vision of your spouse or your boyfriend and girlfriend, how they look at you. Because if you're thinking that they're not looking at you the way you deserve to be looked at, then
Right.
you are going to go and find somebody who does.
Yeah,
And instead of being honest with them and telling them, it kind of snowballs into that situation again. It is so hard to be on the other side and have somebody that you know commit the other side.
right.
So that brings me on to the next topic. And I do want to protect the innocent, but it is a good topic to bring up. I don't know if I'm ever in that situation, how I'm going to take care of a friend who does exactly what
Right.
I am most afraid of somebody doing to me. I comes along with doing your, it comes along with getting, I don't know. I'm really at a loss for words because it is kind of a closed situation to me. And it is something that I can't support and I can't turn my back.
Right.
So I'm kind of stuck as neutral. If you want to come
My sister had an eating disorder when she was younger as well, and that was something that, like, you know, as somebody who didn't think that I had an eating disorder, but definitely did, because my relationship with food was bad at the time because of how I was raised to interact with food just
Right.
like regularly. It was really difficult for me to understand why she had that, why she had this like impulse and need to do something like that,
Right.
you know. But I mean, she got better. She saw a doctor about it, and like,
Well, that's what I want to tell people. Like, don't overanalyze your relationship with food, but if you have a problem, I got myself out of my eating disorders.
even if you
which
think you might,
Yes.
it's good to go and see somebody about it.
it is. It's good to talk to people, even if it's a friend, even if it's a parent, because here's the thing.
Yeah, I know our healthcare isn't great in this country, but
Well, especially now that Kosher's on its way out.
Oh, my God.
We're so stuck. But I was able to get myself out of my eating disorders, which was extremely difficult. I didn't need medical intervention. I talked to a therapist, and that was it. But we went ham on trying to, like, make sure that I could eat food. She would order me food,
yeah,
and it was there when I got to my therapist's office if I needed it or wanted it. The first 3 times.
that's so sweet.
Yeah, and she was okay with me not touching it. And the first 3
Yeah.
times I was there, I didn't touch it. So I'll never forget the 4th time she ordered a pizza, and she ordered my favorite, which was pineapple.
I'm an avid lover of pineapple on pizza, and I will fight anybody in the comments who disagrees. I will
if
die
you
on
don't
this
like
hill.
pineapple on your pizza, just say nothing because now
Pineapple and bacon is like the best.
so I don't like bacon.
No,
I hate bacon.
Oh my god,
I
I could never.
will eat it if it's the only breakfast meat there. But I try to make sure that we don't do bacon that often here. So we'll do bacon sometimes, but our biggest thing is scrapple.
I'm not a scrapple enjoyer. My dad absolutely
Now,
loves scrapple.
Do you like cream chip beef?
No.
That's funny because cream chip beef, everybody I talk to, you either love cream chip beef or you love scrapple. You don't hate both or you don't love both.
I do not like either.
I love both. So I'll love both for you.
Okay.
But it's a scary thing. So going back to like food and family and the guilt that you feel over it, you need to find the people who encourage you to get a milkshake.
Yeah, I agree.
I won't have one every day. My body can't handle
You
it.
just like treat yourself
Yes.
sometimes. Like you're allowed to eat what you want to eat.
So I will tell you, when we go out to go to the supermarket or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I buy Reese's peanut butter cups
Yeah.
because both Matt and I love Reese's peanut
Get
butter
yourself
cups.
a little treat.
And
Don't let nobody stop you.
We try the crazy weird ones. So we've tried the lava cake ones. We've tried the peanut butter and jelly ones. The peanut butter and jelly ones are amazing. Now, M&M makes the same thing because I'm obsessed with peanut butter and jelly. You give me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I will sit on that couch and not move until it's done.
I've always been an Uncrustables girl myself. I love Uncrustables.
So
I will freeze them and then like I'll put them in the microwave and like the peanut butter will be like molten and I'll still be tearing that shit off.
No, you know what you should try? Take 2 of them, whisk up some eggs, cinnamon and sugar in it,
Ooh,
and
like
then you fry it
like
like
French
a French
toast.
toast.
Oh,
so
that
guys,
sounds so good.
that's what you do. You
Yeah.
take Uncrustables and you make French toast out of it, and it's got that peanut butter and jelly
Oh, that
surprise
sounds
right in the
amazing.
middle. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. You can even do that with the Nutella ones.
Yeah.
And they're like stuffed French toast with Nutella.
We get this banana bread from Aldi's that my sister is obsessed with.
Is it over where the bread section is?
Yes.
Yes. So
Oh my God.
I haven't gotten it yet,
It's
but
so
I go
good.
to Aldi once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Just for regular shopping, but we're there.
I always get the
literally every
chocolate
day.
cake too for myself.
I never got
Oh, it's so good.
So I'm the only like real. Well, no, I'm not the only one. There's like 2 of us in this house who love sweets.
I
The
have
other
a
one's
big
not.
sweet tooth.
Yeah, the other one's not a big sweet eater, so he'll do like peanut butter and his favorite, and I love it because now I'm obsessed with it. Is 2 chocolate chip cookies from Aldi, the store brand,
Yeah.
with peanut butter in the middle.
That sounds good. I mean,
Yeah, they're peanut
all
butter
these
chocolate chip
store brand
sandwiches.
stuff really is like
It's-
kind of baller, guys.
It's better than Chips Ahoy, I will tell you
Yeah.
that, because they live up to the peanut butter in the middle and they don't crumble.
Yeah, that banana
like
bread that
me.
we got Nutella,
Mhm.
and we've just been putting Nutella on the banana bread, and it has been incredible.
So you know
so
what,
good.
You know what else you do with any bread like that? So if it's banana bread, chocolate chip bread, make French toast out of it.
Yeah. Oh,
So I will make French toast out of anything you give me. Now I also
French toast connoisseur.
that's me. I don't make it very often, but when I do, it's like, what can we experiment? I also, what else do I love from Aldi? Because now that we're talking about Aldi, I love Aldi.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh
If
my
you're
God.
sleeping on Aldi, stop. They're amazing.
They know me there.
They know me too,
and-
yeah.
Now Matt wears a fedora.
Yeah, he's the fedora guy.
Yeah,
I told the
with
guy
it-
at Supreme, by the way, that I know him, and he looked at me. He said, "Oh, I wish you had said something before I rung you out. I would have given you a bigger discount."
So that's-
It's like hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, I gotta tell Matt that one because that's the thing. So we get taken care of at that smoke shop, and anybody who knows us can walk in there because we had somebody else do it too.
We love you, Supreme Smoke Shop in
Yes.
Brookhaven.
Frank,
Go to them.
Frank, we love you. I actually might be helping him out working there a few days.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw your message.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a great time because I get to get out of the house and I get to do things, but I also will. Be
I'll point out which one's my sister to you because she goes in there all the
just
time.
Tell her when I would be the only.
She was
female.
saying last night, she was like, next time I go in there, I'm gonna tell him I know your friend Matt too. I was like, you might as well.
Just be like, I am her sister and I know Matt. But yeah, every time we're in there like 4 days a week. So
Yeah.
it's as sad as that probably sounds to everybody else. It's the highlight of my day. We totally promote that here. So yeah, don't report
Speaking
us.
of, my vape fell on the floor at the beginning, and I just have not picked it up.
So I'm not editing that out, by the way.
That's okay. Everybody.
I don't edit. If you guys realize when we talk, or when you watch it, I don't edit out anything because I want people to see us raw. Why make us look like we're
Yeah,
not
I
who we are?
mean, I don't know. I think that like heavily editing like something like a podcast can be good if you have a lot of like long pauses and stuff like that where you're
That's
like,
That's not a problem with us.
No, we can
say
just
and
go.
we don't say like. I do have to tell you though, and as soon as I said I don't say I said it.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about comedy.
Oh,
so
yeah.
one of our special guests that we're going to have on is a comedian, very very popular comedian. So excited for that. But here's the thing. So I love comedy.
Yeah.
Just when I got here, they introduced me to comedy, and now every time I'm in a bad mood, can we watch comedy?
Gotta watch Adventure
'Cause-
Time.
Right? Well, they do. Absolutely. And we'll talk about that to them after the show.
Oh, yeah.
But there is a comedian that is going on tour that is my favorite because all she talks about is her relationships. And she's not afraid to talk. But her name is Taylor
Taylor
Tomlinson.
Tomlinson?
She is my idol.
Yeah, I was watching some of her clips when you told me about her like a couple weeks ago, and I was geeking, man. I was sitting in bed and I was like, oh my god, she's
Taylor,
so
I'm gonna
funny.
send you the link to this in every platform that I can. So if you hear me,
Taylor, come talk to us.
come talk to us. I'd love to have you on the show.
Also, Pj&wh with Jordan, come talk to us.
I don't know what that was.
Oh my god,
but
it's a podcast that me and Tom appreciate a lot. It
Okay.
Two best friends, and they just it's Ian and Jordan, and they're from Delaware. Well, Ian I think is from Jersey.
Okay.
And they have like it's like a very 70s looking like basement. I'll send you a link to it.
Oh my gosh,
But
please
like
do.
they have like a sign on the wall that says like the Delaware Den, and I was like, every time I see them, I'm like, I bet we could probably get them on, or they could have us on theirs.
I'll try to guess because here's the other thing. I have an in with Delco Live.
Yeah.
And we've been on the show before.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, big things to come.
They are hilarious. It's so funny when they have guests on too, because like they'll forget that the guest is there. Like they will just start like arguing with each other and like saying like the meanest stuff because they've been friends for a long time.
Right.
So like it's just like a really comfortable friendship.
Well,
and they will
that's
just
good.
say whatever, and then they'll turn around and drag the guest into their argument, and it's so funny every time.
Now, that's a funny thing, but let me ask you a question. So, when you guys argue, you and Tom,
We don't. We really don't.
told me
yeah,
this.
like
I was hoping that I would kind of like trick you into the
no,
truth. but
that
if
is
this
the truth. We do not argue like that. Like we have disagreements sometimes.
Well, okay, so I'm wrong in how I worded it. Disagreements are one thing, arguments are another
Yeah.
thing, fights are another thing.
Oh yeah.
Disagreements are great because I will love a disagreement with anybody. Not
Yeah,
even
we're
a-
great at talking to each other though. So like we'll start, we'll have a disagreement, and then we will both actively try and see the other's point of view on it.
What if your disagreement comes up in front of other people?
Oh, we'll
What do you
keep
do?
going. We'll keep going.
I hope so. I hate when people go, "We'll talk about this when we get home."
No,
you
talk about
won't.
it now.
If you started it,
Everybody's got their listening ears on already.
exactly. Share with the class because if you started it here, you're going to finish it here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's always been my rule. And I used to have a friend who would argue with her boyfriend all the time in front of me, and they stopped after. I'm like, you guys have to share with the class or don't argue.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna start some shit in front of your friends, be prepared to finish that shit in front of your friends, because your friends
Exactly.
already know what's going on. So what's the point in waiting until
Exactly.
later? Now you're just gonna sit there and
Exactly.
seethe all the rest of the night and resent each other even more.
Exactly. When you could be enjoying your time.
Exactly.
And having fun. So I'm a huge believer in not going to bed angry.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Whether it's friends or a significant
I
other,
agree. Yeah,
you don't go to bed angry.
I just don't like I used to be very angry when I was like a teenager and stuff. Like I had so much like just
Were
like
you black
raw anger.
eyeliner
Yes,
and-
I was
oh my
like
God.
straight up like raccoon eyes. Like I thought I was like grunge for a while. That's what I used to tell people like in high school. Like, yeah, I'm grunge now, and I would just like wear a flannel to school.
And now I've handed her a dress that is so far
My
from
style
grunge.
has evolved so much. I'll just wear whatever I want now.
Well, I
like
your
depending on.
pants. I like the pants. I think they're
Oh,
adorable.
my pajama pants, in case my pajama pants and my old man moccasin.
I love it. But here I am wearing jeans, very uncomfortable, and you're
I'm not a
more
jeans
comfortable.
person. I've never been a jeans person.
Well, it's so funny because the more weight I lose, the more less
You
of
know
a
what? I
jeans
used to
person
be
I
a
am.
skinny jeans person because I was like seen in
Well-
like early high school.
And when you had like, I feel like when I had curves,
Mm-hmm.
I might have been a little overweight, but when I had curves, the jeans hugged me better. Now
like,
I'm like,
I'm
really
so
skinny or, like,
yeah, I am so skinny that like sometimes like if I would wear skinny jeans, like there would be such a gap in between my legs that like they looked like pencils, and like it just like it would really bother me. I remember my first issue with my body image was my dad still thinks this story is hilarious. So I was in first grade, and there was
Oh,
this
God.
kid. Yeah, there was this kid that used to just pick on me because like I was an easy target. I would get angry easily.
Okay.
So like, obviously they target people who are
Mhm.
more likely to give them a reaction. He told me I was as skinny as a penny. Now, don't ask me what that means because I have no fucking clue. But
He's
it got
talking-
to me so much
Yeah.
that I cried in first grade. And then I went home and told my dad. And, like, obviously, like, he was like, oh, I'm sorry that happened to you. But, like, I know he was like laughing about it anyway.
Right.
And like these days I can laugh about it because that was like such a stupid insult. Like, what do you mean? What are you even trying to say to me?
You know what? It might not be on the weight issue, but I was told something yesterday about myself from a client that I had worked with previously, that I was a horrible person and didn't know how to do my job and stuff like that. And I let it get to me. So I get it. Like, whether you're in first grade or you're 41.
Yeah.
You can let this stuff get to you, but you can't. Like, I told everybody, it's okay to find yourself in your head, whatever somebody said to you, just don't take up residence.
Yeah.
Don't live there.
Yeah, no,
Because
definitely, like,
You're
register register what has happened and what was said to you and how you feel about it. Absolutely. But don't let yourself hang on to it.
Exactly.
You know, like, you gotta learn how to let things go.
Exactly. I tried to pull, like, when I first got here, I tried to pull the all men are the same
Yeah.
shit. And before I could get the words out of my mouth, the owner of the production company, who we are platforming on, he looked at me and said, I'm not like, we're not like everybody else. Like, I'm not like that. Nobody's going to hurt you. And those words have resonated in my brain every time I start to think the worst about either myself or that somebody, not everybody wants to hurt.
And if you think of yourself like a wounded animal in those situations, like if you were to approach, like, say, like a cat or something that has, we took in one of my sister's friend's cats.
Okay.
They are moving right now and they need someone to basically cat sit for her. She got fixed the day they dropped her off to us. Which
awful.
Is not a good move. We have a lot of cats already, so like we know how to handle it. Like they've been fixed. So like we've gone through this with multiple of our cats. So like we have her in a separate room with the door closed. That's her room right now. She's got food, water, litter. She has the litter that tells you like the health. But like she just got fixed. She doesn't know any of us. She does not know any of us. She's never met any of us. She's unfamiliar with her territory and the people around her. So her immediate instinct is to hiss and scratch and just be on the defense all the time. I sat in there with her yesterday for an hour and a half. The entire time she was hiding from me. She was growling. She was hissing. This morning, I didn't touch her. I left her alone. I just sat in there so she could get my scent, This morning I went in there and she rubbed on my leg so hard. This was the first affection that this cat has shown me.
So when was she dropped off?
Friday.
So the other thing too is they can have that anesthesia in them.
Yeah. She was definitely still like
I'm
loopy.
glad, like that is a really sucky thing to put on you.
Yeah.
But here's
they are paying for her upkeep. They are paying us for her upkeep.
That's
so
good.
It's not like they're just dropping their cat off.
I am glad that she at least got the cat fixed before taking, because that would be even worse. Imagine spraying and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, so female cats don't generally, they can, but they don't generally spray.
That's good.
It's mostly the males that spray. But with female cats, they go into heat. So they will just like yowl for like hours on end.
I've heard that. Yeah. I've heard that actually happened before, so I've heard it in the process.
We took in a stray like years ago at this point, because it was about to snow really bad, and she was just like such a sweetheart. She's one of our favorite cats now. Her name is Toast. She was not fixed, obviously, because she was a stray. So like for the first like 2 or 3 months that we had her, she would go into these like episodes of heat where it would just be unbearable for everybody in the house because she would just yowl at the top of her lungs for hours, and it was like throaty, like gurgly meows.
I want to actually cut you off there for a minute, because getting off the serious subjects for a minute, could you imagine if women did that?
Just start screaming as soon as you're like ovulating, just like scream at the top of your lungs until somebody comes and has sex with you. That's what I'm gonna start doing.
Oh my God. Okay, so as a single person, I'd be like, that might be a little weird, but if you're in a committed relationship, that's great. That's
I'm
great.
just gonna start screaming like that.
That's what you do. Just be like,
back to the original point. Like, if you think of yourself like that, like a wounded animal, after being in like an abusive situation, it's a lot easier to parse in your head like how your emotions are working against you in that situation, because like you don't know these people. This was the first time you'd been here, and like all of a sudden now you live here, and like that's
so
a lot. Like that's a lot at once, especially going through like an abusive relationship, like immediately after getting out of something abusive. And, you know, it's rough because, like, you at this point have been conditioned to distrust men because they've never, the men that you've encountered have never given you any reason to trust them.
Exactly.
They've only done things to hurt you. So, like, yeah, your first instinct is going to be, like, I don't know if I'm safe here.
Right.
Because I don't know these people. I don't know what these people are capable of, you know?
So when I was running, and I might have mentioned this the last time we talked, I called him and I said, look, I'm either going to go to jail or he's like, drop your daughter off immediately and get here. Yeah. When I got here, I was in fight or flight mode, but I was also extremely terrified. I had received a call that night from the police because my ex made sure to call the cops because I was quote unquote missing. The good thing is that I told the cops we were never actually really married, so they couldn't do anything about it. And they weren't going to anyway. Grown woman, and I told them the situation.
Yeah, like I'm an adult woman.
Yeah, he was like, if you need anything, just let us know. So the phone call totally backfired on the ex, but
got him.
But when I got here, it's a few days later, and I'm sitting here. I'll never forget this. And I'm sitting here, and I'm going, I am really, really scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared I'm scared I'm going to hurt. No, and not even I'm scared I'm going to get hurt. I'm scared I'm going to hurt the people around me.
No, that's also a pretty fair, like, trauma response as well.
Then I got to meet all their friends. So the two guys who own Pj&wh, I got to meet everybody.
Always really daunting entering, you know, a new relationship, whether that is romantic, whether
or
it's platonic, you know, like, it's always daunting because you don't know this person like the way you know other people. Like,
exactly.
This is a first for you. So, like, you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know what others are capable of.
And to say that somebody is the complete opposite of what you've dealt with your entire life.
Right.
Parents, significant others, other people have screwed you over. When you meet somebody, platonic or relationship, and they are completely different, then you go on to the mindset of what's wrong with them.
Right. Like, what am I missing here?
Right.
Because, like this is too good to be true, almost.
Yes.
Because it feels like everything is fake, because how could you have that? Like, it's just not possible in your mind.
So it's so funny because if any of the people who know me and don't want to hear this are listening, you can skip over this part. So I have Daisy. Daisy is my vibrator. The happier I get in life, the less I use Daisy. Yeah. If that makes sense, because I don't have to constantly feel something.
Right. And I think that's a lot of, like, what people will use, like, sex for is just, like, they feel less than, or rather, they feel that that's the only thing they're good for in some situations.
Now, I had a therapist one time. I've had a lot of therapists. My mom used to be an avid therapist switcher. As soon as I started telling them about her, she would switch me. So if she's listening, I hope you learn from it. But I just I forgot where I was going with that. I'm really flaky today.
That's okay.
It's just a day.
I don't even know how long we've been going for at this point.
I'm not even going to look. If you guys are enjoying it, click like, follow, share, love us. You know, we're not done. We'll be done soon. But I really honestly wanted to have the ultimate relationship with the guy who had it all. Yeah. Now, I will tell you something. I have grown up a lot. You don't got to have money. No. You don't even, you have to have a dream.
We're poor as hell, me and Tom, but we still love each other.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, no matter where we're at, I will be happy because I'll be there with him.
Right. So, and that's the thing. Like, I love hanging out with who I hang out with because I don't have to be anybody else but myself.
But yourself.
And that's the thing. I don't want money right now. Like, it's so weird to be like, no money, or, you know, if you got a dream, that's a dream. I love it. I am ready to support whatever you want to do. So being supported equals being supportive. Yeah. You don't have to have $1 million, a house in Long Island. I don't know, just name anything, like a house on the main line. You don't have to have it. It took so long for me to be happy. Yeah. And it's so funny too, because money was never an issue when I was married the first time or with my ex the second time until later on, because I was working, or I didn't have to pay bills because I was expected to stay home. Right. And be pregnant. And that was, so my ex-husband is Puerto Rican. And for some reason, That was him and his mom's biggest thing. You are to stay home barefoot, pregnant, and not do
That
anything.
that's very much I think like a Hispanic like mindset.
Exactly.
Like, you know, they want you to rest. It's like
it's ridiculous though, because I am not of that. I am German, Italian, and Irish. I want to move. I want to keep going.
yeah.
Like I cannot stand in one place very long. When I'm home, I'll say to Matt, let's go on an adventure. Let's go somewhere. Let's do something. And it gives me, because he, you know, to have somebody say to you, I don't really like to go out all that often, but you want to go out. So let's go.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference. Like I said, platonic relationship, you are still taking other people's needs into consideration. It's just, it is never too late to be happy.
I agree.
I think
you can always find something.
Yeah.
You know, even if it looks like, even if it feels like nothing's ever going to get better, you're wrong.
Of course, and I love telling people you're wrong.
You are
because I have a friend right now who's going through some major, major shit. Mm-hmm. And he drinks, doesn't want to be alone, constantly going out. And he's going to he needs to.
You got to find the things that you enjoy. Like, find your own hobbies. Figure out what it is that you love.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you know, no matter who you're with, you are, and this is going to sound pretty depressing, but you will die alone.
Yeah, so you will. I totally agree. And also, on the non-depressing part, you are your biggest fan.
Absolutely.
If you cannot embrace yourself, your company, like once I could embrace my own company, I became softer.
Yeah, it makes you like so much more empathetic as well, because you had time to sit with your own emotions and, like, you know, kind of suss them out and see, like, why do I feel this way? What happened in my life to make me this way?
That's why I feel Exhibit A is not taking that kind of, they're not being kind to themselves.
Right.
I totally believe that, like, it's so funny because I love taking showers. Love it. I'm obsessed.
It's like a project for me to take a shower.
Well, at least
I gotta work up to it, you know.
At least you're not like my ex, who only took one once every 6 months.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Once every 6 months.
I could never do.
God.
That's disgusting.
It was awful. I would say to him,
"Oh my
please,
God,
I beg you,
the smell.
I beg you, go take." Well, no, he would lather up the fucking spray. And,
oh God, he was like a perfume bather, like, so, absolutely. Like, I know he was using Axe.
No,
it
was the red can, whatever that.
Old Spice.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I can't even smell it now without going. Bleh.
Yeah.
But he would every 6 goddamn months, and I would try to be like, dude, I can't deal with this. Like,
you have to shower, dude.
He would stay in bed.
Personal hygiene is important, whether you want to do it or not.
He would stay in bed. He would get up for work, and that was it. He would stay in bed until work. He would then go back to bed when he came home from work. Now, towards the end, that was great for me. I loved it.
Oh yeah, because then you get a lot less of him,
right,
to deal with.
Exactly. So me and my daughter would be like, yes, let's go out. So we would like go places, and have fun. But no shower.
That's
I'm
insane.
like, how do you do that?
That is
like,
insane. Like, don't you feel that on your skin? Like,
yes.
I can't, like, so I shower generally every other day. Because I don't like showering, because it's also, like, I know a lot of people will say, like, oh, that's gross. Like, you have to shower every day.
No, you don't.
You're not supposed to.
No. Now, here's...
As somebody who did a full 1,250 hours of cosmetology school, you are not supposed to shower every single day. That ruins the oils in your skin.
Right.
The reason, and, like, I know a lot of people with, like, your hair. I wash my hair once a week, and my hair does not get greasy. And I know that there will be people in the comments that are like, oh, my hair gets so greasy. It's because you're washing it every day.
Right.
It is because you are stripping your hair of its natural oils that it needs to stay hydrated and healthy.
So I only wash my hair when I feel like I need it.
Yeah.
Because I have, so my hair's straight, but as you saw in the last video, or the last time we filmed, my hair's curly.
The texture of your hair does matter too. Like, you will get, you know, it'll get greasy quicker with, you know, straight hair. Because it doesn't have a lot of curve to travel down your strand, you know, like, like there's no, like, curl there. It's just a straight drop, basically. And the point of the oil that your scalp produces is to protect your hair.
Right.
Like, it coats your, you know, the strand. And when you're shampooing, you are removing all of that oil. So the reason that it's getting overly greasy is because you're removing the oil, so it's overcompensating for
Then you
that.
don't
Your
have a
scalp is
barrier.
producing, right, your scalp is producing more than it should be because it's trying to overcompensate for the oil that you removed.
Right. So I also find
Another hill I will die on.
I also find that you, like for me, the cheaper the shampoo, the better. So with the more expensive shampoos, because I tried the Mondays or whatever the day of the week.
See, the other thing is you want to find shampoo that is sulfate and paraben free. Sulfate strips your hair a lot faster, and Pantene, stuff like that, generally that has sulfates in it, and it's like a salt almost. So like it dries
Right.
your hair out, and then paraben is a wax, so it coats your hair strand.
Well, they buy men's.
Not in a good way.
They buy men's shampoo. I have never had better hair. by
It's
using
not
men's
2-in-1, is it?
I think so.
Oh my God, no! That's another one that's just awful.
So I will be buying cheaper shampoo that's not 2-in-1. But it's worked for my hair for a little bit.
Yeah.
Now I do have the dead ends that need to come off.
Right.
But I also have the blonde.
That's another thing. A lot of people have issues with like growing their hair long. If you trim your hair, just like the tips of it,
That's
just
what I
the
do, and
very
it
ends of
grows.
it, like once a month, your hair will grow no problem.
So I'll take scissors.
Mhm.
And I'll just have to be like, I'll take the scissors.
If you really don't need to take off length at all,
No.
just trim the ends.
So I take my floral scissors that I have, which are
Oh,
the
yeah.
sharpest scissors I've ever, like they take.
Girl, I got real hair cutting scissors. I can just trim your hair for
Can
you. Yes.
All right, so it's on video. So you guys heard it straight from the cosmetologist's mouth.
Yeah.
She will be doing my hair from now on.
I'll trim her hair, guys. Don't worry.
I actually want you guys to want you to do my color too. if you
Oh
don't
yeah,
mind.
I love
Yeah.
color was always my
Yeah.
favorite. It's definitely a process, especially depending on what color you're trying to get to.
So in the summer I go blonde.
Yeah.
And I love it because I get one, and you're gonna hate this. Don't judge me. I get one box color.
Oh
Only-
no,
only
not
for
box
blonde.
color.
No, only for blonde. And it
Guys, don't use box color
no,
either.
don't use box colors. So I don't have to anymore because I have somebody.
Yeah.
But I used it, and I never was happier. So I went to a place to get my hair cut. My hair was blonde, and she's like, I want to say you did this yourself. And she goes, this is the
They
best.
can always tell.
Well, she said to me, she goes, don't ever do this shit again. But she goes, this is the best work I've ever seen from somebody
Yeah.
who's not a cosmetologist. She goes, I said, I didn't do it. My 10-year-old niece did it. She was like, what? Yeah.
Well, it looks like somebody's going into cosmetology school when she gets
actually,
older.
No, she it's so funny because I'm so proud of her. She's in 6th grade now. She is my ex's niece technically, but the kids never should be.
Right. You know,
Never
they're
should
not.
be. Yeah, they're lovies, and she actually is in 6th or 7th grade, and she volunteers / works at a retirement community.
Oh, that's
And I'm like,
beautiful.
this is
I love that
amazing.
for her.
Yeah.
Honestly, like my first job, I was 13 or 14, I think, and it was Booth Corners.
I love Booth Corners.
Yeah,
Their
my dad-
sausage and pepper sandwiches.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean,
My dad used to work at the Ear to Ear, like the
Yeah.
hearing aid place.
Uh-huh.
There was a little shop for a while that was right across from his, and it was like she just made like headbands and like
Okay.
like with flowers on them and stuff, like handmade stuff that you could get for like your baby or your dog or whatever, just like little stuff for photo shoots. And she gave me a job. I was working there. I made like $40 a week, and I saved
That's
up my money.
adorable.
Saved up my money so that I could go down to the little game store that's no longer there, RIP, so that I could buy a Nintendo 64.
That's what I love to hear. So, I mean, I think we had a really good show today.
Yeah.
I want you guys to like, follow, share Pj&wh and wall-hangers, sex ed, and everything in between. Lug nuts. If you love cars and you're a nut about cars, watch them. They're
Yeah.
freaking amazing. So
Check out Tom's band, everybody.
Yeah.
Youth Death Club.
Oh my God, please! And
They do shows in the area all the time.
And I'll be performing with him.
Absolutely.
So I'll let you know where to find us. I absolutely love it. So again, like, follow, share, love us. We will love you back. We do have a bunch of PR coming in, so we are gonna have a PR giveaway.
Bye.